Workwise is a local initiative for local employers and local pupils.
Workwise is the ultimate interview.
Workwise is an employer-led initiative to help young people get ready for the world of work and achieve the best success they possibly can.
When we have youngsters that have been through a work experience programme that Workwise offer, they're just better prepared for the world of work.
The Workwise model with regards to management time works really well because it's so structured that a lot of the kind of legwork that a company would have normally had to do hasn't got to be done because it's all laid out before you.
We want to keep the local pupils here. The last thing we want them to do is to disappear to international universities and never come back to the region.
It's how you actually bring these young kids on a journey and actually get them engaged, and at the end of it, hopefully, get them into employment.
If we want to keep on making things in Sheffield, then we have to have people who can make them.
The role of Workwise is very, very important indeed in taking young people in a very constructive and I believe a very creative way to the employer, and the employer coming to the young person as well.
What's great about it is the employees themselves really feel passionate about Workwise because they've designed the content, they've designed the programme.
When I was at Davy Markham, we found that the average age of the workforce was approaching 50. And that's always a problem in manufacturing because people want to retire early, people leave, and you have big gaps in the workforce. So the only way of replacing them was to train our own because many people had retired and there wasn't a big pool of apprentice-trained people available. Unfortunately, the applicants who were coming along for schools were totally unprepared, didn't know anything about manufacturing and didn't know anything about work. So what we decided to do was to give them this experience, and this experience came about by bringing them into the working environment, giving them specific roles, treating them as proper people, and letting them understand how a business works, and let them go out on the road with the salesman, let them work on the shop floor, let them work in the accounts department, and really immerse them into the business, not do some photocopying and running to the shops, but genuinely doing a working day and going home quite tired at night. But more importantly, going home and telling the parents how good work was and telling the peer group how good work was. We're not into training apprentices, we're into training people to become apprentices and make decisions. When you've had them working with you for 3 weeks, when you've interacted, for the pupil and for the organisation, it's a great way of interviewing. I call it the ultimate interview for both the employer and the employee. And you can form the relationship. They can come back during holidays and work with you. They can take holiday jobs, weekend jobs, and you can form that relationship and make sure that they're right for you and you're right for them. And that relationship is so important at that age.
It's evident from apprenticeship intakes that those young people that have been on those programmes are just better prepared, and it means a lot to us that when the youngsters come through that they have that base knowledge of what's required in the world of work. It just gives them a very good head start.
I see Workwise as an opportunity for the organisation to do something constructive, whether it be attract people eventually into nailer industries or whether it be simply to convert them to be interested in engineering and manufacturing as work options. I think that's a good thing for our communities, and it's a good thing for our business because we do need these people.
Schools have a really difficult time because education is constantly moving. Schools are not measured on how many young people go into an apprenticeship, they're not measured on how many young people get a job, they're based on qualifications and how well they do at Ofsted. So it's sometimes very, very difficult, even though schools understand the relevance of getting young people ready for working into apprenticeships. They sometimes don't have that capacity to do that, which is again is where we come in to do that. We make that easy. And so we work with the schools who have young people that are interested in science, mathematics, engineering, or some of those young people actually that may not get the 5 GCSEs and may not want to go into further education or higher education or want to go directly into employment. So we act as an interface, helping schools work with those children and those young people that are more interested in more vocational routes when they leave school.
In school with all the students we do a really good sound preparation. They do health and safety and they do letters, they do CVs, and we send all this off to the companies. I think with the Workwise, obviously they're working with companies that are just a little bit more prepared for accepting students on work experience. The students have in the past gone down to one of the Workwise companies and done extra preparation work before they kind of go out on work experience. So it's just a little bit extra that certain students kind of benefit from if they're involved with Workwise companies?
I think it's a really good experience to know what it's like to actually work as an engineer and like behind the scenes and what goes on, as well as on the shop floor and getting hands-on.
The skills we're learning and what we're getting from them is more like confidence building.
Going to a workplace has changed my view. As soon as you walk into a workplace, you like realise, it's so many opportunities that, they're in like your grasp.
It helped me realise what I wanted to do, because when you leave school at 16, you ain't got no direction. Everyone expects you to know what you want to do and you just don't, and then I found something that I liked. I enjoyed it when I come down here.
The thing about Workwise, what it does, it helps remove barriers. It makes it easy and simple to engage. Employers help employers, schools help schools. It's actually based on the core competencies that you need for young people to come into the industry.
I really feel passionate about Workwise. The success stories that I've come across and what these kids actually achieve. For instance, I had one young lad who was very, very, very quiet and shy, and he went through the programme and we had a Workwise breakfast at Cutlers Hall, and he had to stand there in front of all these businessmen. There were about 60 businessmen, and in this hall started talking about what he found that Workwise had done for him. And when he'd finished, everybody just were in awe of what he actually said, and his parents came up to me afterwards and said, "We can't believe that same lad."
Well, I think the great thing about Workwise is that it, in many ways, fits into the ethos of the Sheffield City region. A very strong sense of collaboration between our business community, the education sector, and very much trying to create a platform for helping our young people as they meet the challenges of today and tomorrow, and understanding in particular the importance of the role they have in driving forward our economic prosperity, both as a city region and as a country. Well, I think the value of the skills is very much driven by the need for our business and education sectors to really truly collaborate, and I think Workwise, from a skills point of view, must be right at the heart of what businesses are looking for in terms of future employees, apprenticeships, and I think it's also part of moving away from the assumption that all of our young people have to go to university.
The Workwise model fits very well. We're in a very good place. The apprenticeship scheme that we've got and the feed into that at the moment is really good. It certainly is as good as we've had in the last 20-25 years. The calibre of the young apprentices that we've got now is exceptional.
Well, I think Workwise is an organisation that now is addressing the real needs of what we want, both here in Sheffield and indeed nationally as well. The days of skills are really back on the political agenda, and that's why the success of the Advanced Manufacturing Park is what it is. How you then link that into schools, into academic institutions as well, and also very importantly with teachers and parents, is something I think that we've all got to address. Workwise is one element how that is being done, and being done very effectively indeed, by taking young people from the work at the school environment and bringing them into a work environment, but also giving them an opportunity of quality training and quality experience as well. Workwise is about matching a young person to a career, and for an employer to look at a young person so that they both get the best out of that relationship. And when you're thinking we have got to double our wealth creating base to match what Germany's got, or indeed what they're doing in Europe, it shows the challenge, and that challenge will only be met if we've got the skilled people to be able to do that work.
The exciting bit for me is to see a shy, nervous individual come in the morning, not make eye contact with you, don't really know how to shake hands, don't know how to greet you, and then 3 weeks later going out very positive, understanding what work's all about and really wanting to get a job. That's a big plus for me.
By going to a real company, I find it beneficial, because when you go into a company you actually see the functions of a workplace, and it gets you used to working in these circumstances.
It's basically the right thing to do if people want to create jobs and wealth. If they want to get people into work, this is the right thing to do.